Okay, this is attempt number 2 at recording this. First attempt I got interrupted because dinner and all that, so I should have expected much. But anyway, it is February 18, 2018 at the time of recording this. Just a little bit of an update from the last one. Yes, I am leaving my job soon. I believe February 28th might be the last day. I'll have to double check, make sure that's correct. But anyway, yeah, not really a whole much else going on other than that. There is one thing that's kind of been on my mind. It's been on my mind for a while now. It's something that always just sort of jumbles around in my head, sort of every now and then. It's just, thinking about the future, finger quotes. It's something that sort of always came around my head every now and then. It's just sort of I don't know. It's just I'm trying not to say and dress and all that because last time I said every other sentence. I had to stop myself from saying it there because well, anyway, but yeah, just thinking about the future, it just sort of scares me sometimes because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know. Everybody says you got to plan for your future, or where do you see yourself in 5 years, which is a common question. And I don't know. Do I look like a psychic? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know where I'm gonna be in a year from now or the next day. I mean, it's always something that's sort of been on my mind, and every now and then it's just sort of jumbles around in my head a bit, and I start, thinking a lot about it, because, I mean, it always just sort of used to, scare me, and, there were times when I was younger, I think it was around the time my, grandfather died, or Papa as we come to call him. It was around that time I started having nightmares about, dying. Because, when you're dead, you're dead. And, you basically just, rot in the ground or all that. And it just sort of scared me for a little while. Ugh, it's scaring me right now just thinking about it. But, I don't know, it just always sort of, depressed me a little bit because, I always get these fears, that I'm not going to make anything in my life. I'm just going to wind up being in my parents' house, forever, which is obviously one of the reasons why I kind of, wanted to, motivate myself to, get our funds to move out. But obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon if I'm going to be leaving my job. But that's, I already addressed that, but I don't know. It just, I guess, looking back on, where I've been and where I'm going, it just sort of, I guess I never really, notice my accomplishments unless someone else, points it out to me. Because I guess I always just focus too much negatively and not too much on the positives because, I graduated school. I've been out of, school for, 4 years, but, of course, you obviously couldn't tell because, I am 26, but I don't sound like I'm 26. For all you know, I could be 8. I'm not afraid to admit that. I do not sound like a 26-year-old at all. For all you know, I could be 8. It's one of my shortcomings. I guess puberty had other plans in mind for me. It got everything else right, just not the old voice box or anything like that. But, well, going back to the whole thinking about the future and all that, I guess when I look at everybody else and their accomplishments or what I've done or what they've been doing with their lives, I guess I just sort of get down on myself because I haven't made anything of myself yet. Like I said, I've been out of school for 4 years, and all I've really had to show for it was this job, and that's really not much to say because it's just customer service. You can't really gloat or boast about that, honestly. And I don't know. I guess and the thing about me is I always figure myself to be sort of this late bloomer, I guess, because fun fact about me, I didn't learn how to ride a bike. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 16. I didn't learn how to drive a car till I was in my 20s. For various reasons, because, like, A, I didn't pass the final exam in driver's ed, and, like, B, those movies that they have to show you kind of scare me out of driving for a little while. I mean, that's not the case now. I'm driving everywhere I go, but I guess, like, when I look at myself and look at our people and how so behind I feel like I am, I mean, some people assure me, like, you know, everybody goes their own pace, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just taking my sweet time to, like, blossom into this perfect individual. Like, I am anything but perfect. But it just really sort of, like, you know, gets me sometimes when, you know, I hear other people talking about, like, so what are you going to do? Or what have you been doing? Or what are you going to do? Because I have no fucking idea. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. I sure as hell don't know where I'm going to be 5 years down the line. And I don't know. It just sort of, like, you know, gets me all worried that what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And the thing is, like, I talked to a therapist about it, and he always says, you know, like, you have to set goals, like, smaller goals to work towards this bigger goal, and, like, try not to think about all of it a lot at once, and just sort of take it step by step by step. And I feel like I do a good job as is, but not as good as I would like to, and, I'm trying to stop myself from repeating myself, like saying, you know, and just and all that, but, back to my main point, yeah, because, like, I'm no psychic, and I can't see into the future, although one thing I notice about me that's kind of crazy, and this is sort of like, I don't know if it's just premonition or anything like that, but oftentimes when I go to sleep and I, like, have these dreams, for whatever reason, I'll dream about something that happens the next day. And it's not like, you know, we're not talking about any major events, just some random thing that'll happen the next day for like 5 seconds. And I don't know if it's like a premonition dream or something, or if I can really see into the future, but I don't know, it's just something that I had to stop myself there, but it's something that I know happens more often than not, and kind of like going back to my main point about the future and all that, because I guess it's sort of interesting when you think about it, like having this sort of dream where you can see like one day into the future. That's pretty, I guess, sort of bizarre. It's sort of something you don't really see people talking about or even bringing up. But I guess, as it is, I just try, you know, take every day as it is and just take it as it comes. And, like, the thing is, like, once I do leave this job, I'm going to try my best not to fall into this rut. Because that's the other thing that I try my best not to do, always fall into a rut. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm leaving this job, because I don't want to be in a rut. And, it'll be kind of hard to do because I won't have any sort of income. Excuse me. I won't have any sort of income for a little while. I'll have to be very careful. I mean, my dad did give me like a bit of money over Christmas, so I have that to fall back on. I'll definitely be getting the new Kirby game when it comes out, and maybe if I play my cards right, Donkey Kong? Maybe? I mean, I won't be hurrying if I don't get it right away, because it is pretty much a port, even though it's got that sweet-ass Funky Kong. And, like, I guess that's sort of something that always, like, you know, sort of keeps me going, all of these things to look forward to, all these things to do, and I want to do, gotta do, should do. And it can be a lot to take in at times, but I figure, you know, as long as I keep going and I don't stop, then I should be good. But that's pretty much me. I know everybody's different when it comes to, like, you know, developing and, like, going at their own pace and all that. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like I don't go at the pace I want to, and but that's just me. That's just me. I'm sure anyone's listening to this will probably think I'm wrong or something, or think differently than me. I mean, I won't belittle you or anything if you do think differently than me. I certainly won't. But yeah, that's pretty much the way it is. I mean, it is what it is. Like my dad pointed out, and like this one customer pointed out when she got pissed about something. I can't remember. It is what it is, and that's really all there is to it. But yeah, but I guess since I am talking about what's gonna happen, like since I will be quitting soon, this will give me a good opportunity to stream more as well as like put out more art and focus on that mono bug run I'm doing in Pokemon Volt White. And by the way, I do have another idea for a mono type run in another Pokemon game afterwards. And this one is Pokemon run, one of those Pokemon runs I've tried various times but never actually finished. And this is something kind of funny that I bring up because, like, back in the day, I never finished a Pokemon game to save my life. But then there came a time where I did finish a Pokemon game. But when I go back to some of those older Pokemon games, I find myself not completing them again. So it's kind of funny how I went from, like, not completing them to completing them, going back to not completing them. I mean, that's obviously not the case with, like, newer Pokemon games because, oh, it's so new and all that. And I guess that's another thing. I mean, I don't know, just all this nostalgia and all that. But that's something for like a different time, a different place. I'm talking about like what's ahead, not behind. I mean, I know he's talking about that some other time. But anyway, I'm just rambling on this point. But yeah, be expecting more everything, being more streams, more drawings, more Pokemon, more of whatever the hell this is. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So thank you for listening if you have been, and if you have not, then oh well, can't say I blame you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening. Bye.